Hey everybody, this is Fumi from freespiritfumi.com, and this video is going to be about navigating the workplace from a feminine perspective, and not just about femininity, but it's also going to go into tips for starting a job and navigating different things, at your job, like sexual harassment and etc. Okay, so just for those who are new to my channel or new to my videos, I currently offer on my website career consultations for those who are looking for jobs or those who need help navigating their job. So I do have that coaching option available. I just had a session. She was awesome, and I wish her luck on her new job. She knows who I'm talking about. Okay, so let's get started with the video. I'm going to start out with the perspective of a new employee. So you've just gotten a new job, but a lot of this stuff you can use whether you've been there before. It's never too late. I think there was a woman who commented on one of my videos and said, I've made some mistakes at work, blah, 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 blah. What do I do? Start implementing some of these changes the best you can. So when starting a new job, you must be, and this is where thinking strategically is so important. Before you start a new job, you must be already prepared to know what you're willing to tell your coworkers about you. When you're new, people are curious about you, especially if you are, a black woman. You will be watched, and people are gonna ask you all kinds of stuff. You need to already be kind of ready. Like, what are you willing to tell your coworkers? What small talk are you willing to engage in? You definitely want to. This is the thing. You want to seem friendly, but you also don't want to tell people your business because it will be used against you. So already have, whether you lie or tell the truth. I tell you, lie or tell the truth. Do whatever it takes, because when it comes to your professional reputation, it is key and it can hurt you in the long term. So you need to be ready to tell them, you need to make up a little, like they say when you go to career fairs, you have like a little blurb. You need to be ready for the questions that are going to come when you're new. And guess what? When you're new, people are going to be gossiping about you naturally because you're new. And they're going to be telling each other what they think of you. So it's very careful that you not tell people too much personal information and that you not say the wrong things. So be ready to say where you're, if you want to say where you're from, or, like I said, my favorite thing when talking to people is to, oh, well, that's totally different. Anyway, so basically, that's I'm going to go on a tangent. So this is why I make lists for my videos. But moving on, make sure you know what you want to tell people. Make sure you know what you don't want them to know. If you already know kind of what you're willing to reveal, it's easier to kind of control conversations because you kind of already have thought ahead of time. Because when you're at work, it's different from making friends. You don't go to work for your coworkers are not your friends, and don't treat them as friends. Don't even treat them as potential friends. Your coworkers are your rivals. They are your competitors. Period. Even when you are on a team project, they are your competitors. Why? Because I want you to be promoted. I want you to move up. And if you want to move up, everyone is a threat. And you don't have to be angry about it or insecure about it. Just know that that's what the workplace is. You're a threat, and they are a threat, and they view you as a threat no matter how nice they are. Okay, my recommendation: never add people on social media unless you have a separate professional account. I recommend, and I have a separate Facebook account for that's just professional, so that when employers Google my name, it automatically comes up, and when they look on there, there's nothing on there. And if I ever had coworkers that I wanted to schmooze with, but I didn't want them on my personal account, I would just, if they send you a request on your private account, block them, and then create a professional account with the same picture, your same name, so they think it's the same account, and then say, oh, Facebook was acting weird, send them a friend request, and keep them only on this fake page. Put a little bit of stuff on it, maybe some memes, some posts, some inspirational quotes, but never add them on Twitter or anything like that. And don't tell them about the sites, Facebook groups and stuff that you're in, because they will join them and they could leak information about you or learn more about you. At work, don't use any, and it's sad I have to say this, but don't use any slang, profanity, or ebonics at work. It is so unprofessional. I'm sorry. You're going to be going to work with people from all over the world, and even people with thick accents try to speak standard English. So for those who, no slang, no cursing, no ebonics, none of that. Now, a lot of you ladies, unfortunately, we live in, well, not unfortunately, but really, don't talk about religion at work. Nobody wants to hear about it. It can be offensive to other people, and it can be annoying. And you're like, what? people are atheists, people are spiritualists, people are Muslim, people are Christian, and no, when you talk about religion at work, it makes you look kind of like, it almost makes you, first of all, religion has no place in the workplace, in my opinion. And when you talk about religion and church and all this stuff and Jesus and God, you may be, unless you live in a workplace where everybody's the same religion and just like you may end up isolating yourself. Like, you know, I personally, like, my mother is Catholic and I come from a Christian background, but I am not a Christian, and I don't like being around people who are really, who throw their religion in my face and who are like Jesus this and Jesus. I really don't like being around people like that. It annoys me to no end, especially at work. I don't want to hear about your religion. I don't care that you went to church. And many other people feel the exact same way as me. I've heard it. I've heard people gossip people, yeah, she's a Christian, but it's not that she's a Christian. She's like, she's so into this, and it makes people automatically will assume you're more of an extremist if you go to work talking about your religion. And it could make the wrong person uncomfortable. Like, for instance, I have friends from all different religions, but when I go to work, I don't want to hear about it. It has no place in the workplace, and you could end up working for a manager that is an atheist who loathes Christians or loathes this or loathes, you know, religion at work, and you end up getting passed over for jobs and you don't know what you're doing. It's because you're talking about your religion at work, and it makes people uncomfortable and like, God, I don't want to work with this woman. All she does talk about God and Jesus and blah 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 blah. And this could even happen from other Christians. There can be other Christians who just are private and they don't want to hear about it, so watch out for that. Studies have shown that women who wear makeup to work and women who dress in more feminine apparel like skirts and dresses are treated better. And I definitely it's definitely not across the board. Feminine dress at work has changed drastically. However, my personal preference, I always wear feminine dresses and skirts. And it doesn't mean you have to have a pencil skirt with your rear hanging out, but I definitely there are so many ways to make clothes feminine, and my recommendation is to wear dresses and skirts. Now, it's hard to find, it is, like, depending on your age group. For me, I'm younger, it's hard to find like dresses that are really appropriate for work. They really should come to the knee or just above the knee barely, and they shouldn't be very form-fitting. No cleavage whatsoever, and you should not have skin-tight clothes. Like, if it fits, okay, but if you're, I'm just being honest, if you're overweight, your clothes really shouldn't fit you that well. Like, not super tight, because when you're overweight and you gain weight, especially if you have a desk job, I noticed even me, like when I used to have internships, you know, where I was at a desk, I would gain weight. And I'm actually going to go over some of the ways that I gained weight at work. Now, when you're sitting down for long periods of time, it kind of sucks. Some people bring exercise balls to work, and for me, one thing I wear when I do certain things is waist trainers. Get a waist trainer. They are so, like, some of them are so comfortable. That way you're at work and you're losing water weight and stuff like that, and it helps when you're trying to lose weight. So definitely get a waist trainer and put it under your clothes at work and wear it to work. I love it. I love my waist trainer. When you're at work, to help you not like gain weight at work, especially when you're sitting down, drink tea. Buy your own organic tea. Don't get their Lipton. That's horrible. Go buy your own organic tea. I recommend Yogi tea, and bring honey, not sugar. Don't drink the coffee. I'm sorry. Unless you're a doctor or a lawyer, or maybe you have a lot of kids and they stress you out, you should not be drinking coffee every day. It is really bad for you. It is. And putting all that sugar and cream and all that stuff, it's unhealthy. You need to make sure you get the right amount of sleep. Switch to tea and use honey. Don't use sugar. And like, what? No sugar? No. If you have real good honey, you don't need sugar. I want to get everybody off the sugar. You know, stop drinking sugar. Stop eating chocolate. Like, I used to love hot chocolate all the time in the winter at work, and when I used to work. And yeah, watch out. Tea is better, organic tea, not the cheap stuff. Okay, when you're new at a job, you're like a shiny new thing, and people are going to invite you out to lunch and invite you to all kinds of stuff, and it may feel overwhelming, and you may not even want to do some of the things you're invited to do, or go certain places, or you may not want to go out to lunch. Maybe you brought your lunch. Go. I had made this mistake when I had internships when I was younger, where I was very shy, or maybe I didn't want to go to that restaurant. When you're invited to go places at work, you need to go, because you need to stay in the loop. When you're being strategic at work, you have to stay in the loop. And when you are new, you are not in the loop. The most you'll get is petty gossiping. You don't know the ins and outs of how the company works. You don't know how things go down. Another thing, when people warn you about stuff when you're new, believe them. Most of the time when somebody warns you about a person or something or manager, they're not lying. They may have their own reasons, but I would definitely listen. Don't take it 100% to heart, because they could have their own relationship. But if everybody's saying the same thing, about certain coworkers, believe them. If it's just one person, find out for yourself. But when you first start a job, whenever you're invited to go out with coworkers, you need to be seen as part of the group, because when you're in the loop, you learn how to navigate your job, and you learn how to be strategic in dealing with certain people and certain personalities. If you go out to eat and you don't want to spend a lot of money every day, but everybody's always going out to eat, get a salad or appetizer. Order some water. Order hot water and bring your own tea bag. Save money on drinks. Order hot water. Bring your own tea bag and bring your own honey. And order an appetizer. That way you can eat something small that's more affordable. Or order a salad because it's healthy. Or order a new vegetarian option off their dish to be healthy, so you don't end up eating fast food every day because you want to bond with your coworkers. Okay, when you're new, they're going to be testing you and watching you, so be careful what you do. If you are new and you're not being invited to places, ask. Don't sit down and wait for people to be like, oh, I'm new and I'm shiny, pay attention to me. No, you got to be assertive, not aggressive, assertive, and say, oh my God, that sounds like, I overheard you guys talking. That sounds great. I'm really curious. Can I come? Ask people, straight up ask people. And if you can, ask people to join them when there are other people around. They're more likely to feel the social pressure to tell you yes, because they don't want to sound like a jerk. So if you really want to go with that lunch, wait until everybody's together and ask, and most likely the group will be polite and say yes, of course. When it comes to getting to know male coworkers, and you want to be on a good relationship with male coworkers, like most men who think they know everything. Ask them for their expertise on something, even if you care nothing about it. Ask them, I heard that you were really good at this, and I'm just so lost, or I just don't know what it is. Ask them, like, I heard you're just so great at it. Could you tell me, like, what have you learned? Like, you just seem like you know so much. Like, really stroke men's egos about different things. Like, if they're your competitors, mind you, but even with your competitors, you may need help. Even with the guy you're competing with, there are going to be times you have to come in. This is why I stress femininity. Because feminine woman in the workplace, and when you have positive, happy, feminine energy, even your competitors will be compelled to help you. Whoever it is that you don't like at work, or whoever it is that is a threat to you at work, they should never know that you don't like them. They should never know that you feel like they're a threat. Never show these emotions. Never give them facial expressions. Never do this. You want people to think. I'm not going to say, you want people, if you want to go real sly, you can make yourself look like you're not a threat to anybody and then jump ahead of them, but never ever reveal your emotions or your intentions, and never, like, people should not know if you like them or if you don't. My whole philosophy when I go to work is I like everybody. I like everybody. I do. Everybody's amazing. There's always something to like about somebody. There's always something, that's my mentality. That's what I tell people. Yeah, right? Yeah, so, okay. Oh, now this is some newer level game. And this is what the great thing about being feminine, and also sometimes not being helpless, even at work. Like, you got to play these feminine archetypes to your benefit at work. Have men and women do a favor. There was a study that said if someone does you one favor, they're more likely to do 2, 3, 4, or 5, or 6. So let me tell you a lesson. I had an internship, and I was at a conference. I was helping to set up a conference for this nonprofit. And there was a white girl there who always dressed very feminine, always wore skirts and dresses, and always wore heels. So when it was time for us to set up the tables, there was no way that she would be able to do any of the manual labor that came with setting up the conference. Whereas me, I was wearing flats and pants and a dress suit. And right along with the men, I was picking up and carrying everything. And even though I was totally irritated, and even the guys still kind of irritated that she wasn't moving boxes, because she chose to embrace that feminine archetype, it was completely overlooked. And she only did less manual labor or whatever. So there's benefits. People are always worried about sexism and, oh, this is catering. You gotta use this stuff to your benefit. When you are helpless or you're so feminine or you have heels on or you're wearing a skirt and you couldn't possibly bend over to pick up, I drop stuff all the time. When I had a job, when I drop things, men dive to pick it up for me. I said it. When I drop stuff, and if you're that good, girls would do it too. I draw something, oh my gosh, let me help you. And I don't have to move a finger. You need to get to the point. This is the kind of manipulation I'm trying to tell you at work. You have to be so lovable and likable and so feminine. You're just like, oh, like, people want to help you. They want to do things for you. Oh, don't worry about it. I'll get it. And let people do things for you. Not your job, but little things. Get people to do the little stuff that you don't want to do so that you have time to do what you need to do. Okay? Okay. Moving on. At work, no fake lashes or dramatic weaves. I'm just being honest with some people. Fake lashes for the most part, unless you have natural, like one cheap brand that I do know that looks pretty natural on me, that I don't even wear them. I bought them and my husband does not like them, so I haven't worn them because I saw a video up and she said, oh, this, and I don't wear fake lashes, but I got these just to see what they look like, and they look pretty natural. Ardell Naturals, you can get them in like CVS, but no, like, if you're gonna wear fake lashes, they have to be natural. I'm sorry, like, none of the that caked up look. A lot of times if you wear fake lashes, you don't even need mascara. You can put a little eyeliner to show like the separation, but don't use mascara. The dramatic weaves and the coloring of the hair, unless you are coloring it one color and it looks nice, it can look really cheap and tacky. Oh, no personal calls at work. If you have to take a personal call, go to the bathroom or close your door. And if you close your door and people can still hear you, don't take the personal call at work. They will monitor most jobs nowadays monitor your phone call, monitor your emails, monitor your internet history. So take personal calls in the bathroom and try to go to the bathroom on that floor that nobody goes to, or the handicap bathroom where there's one person that can go in there. Yeah, like go to those bathrooms for your phone calls. Make sure if you do go into a bigger bathroom, make sure all the stalls are empty. So yeah, and let me go through one more tip and I'm going to make a part 2 to this video. Oh, in fact, I'm not going to go, or I'm going to end the video here because what I'm about to go through, I'm almost done. I make a list of things that I talk about. What I'm going to tell you, I really want to elaborate, and I don't want this to be 20 minutes. So yeah, this is Fumi from freespiritedfumi.com, and I do have career consultations, so check out the site. My site, the link will be at the bottom. If you have a job interview, you need, your resume looked at or anything like that, I do coaching like that. But yeah, stay tuned for part 2. Okay, bye-bye.